Former Federal Treasurer and member for North Sydney, Joe Hockey has wound up his stint as Australia's ambassador in Washington. And we're lucky to have him in the Sky News stable where, among other things, he'll be commenting frequently as we count down to the US presidential election in November. I'm very pleased to say Joe Hockey joins us now from Washington. G'day there, Joe. Good to have you on board.
Chris, it's been too long since we've had a chat, so it's great to speak with you.
It's been a hell of a long time. I want to ask you, you must, now that you don't have the ambassadorial duties to be onto every night, every day, I bet you're watching and listening very intently to the way this virus is being played out in Australia at the moment.
Oh, sure. I'm following it carefully, not only in Australia, but various other places around the world. Here in the United States, it's essentially out of control. They've lost control of it at a local level, at a state level and nationally. And I think, whilst the whole debate here about getting access to the appropriate equipment, the PPE equipment has passed, it's doing tremendous damage to various economies, and it's certainly ripping through places like Florida, which had more than 15,000 cases yesterday, which is more than New York at its worst.
And I played earlier on in the program reaction from this anti-mask mob in Palm Beach, Florida. Aren't they crazy cats?
Yeah. It's a diverse country here, I can say that, and there's lots of different opinions. Look, essentially every debate here that dominates the national media has to be turned into pro-Trump or anti-Trump, pro-Republican or pro-Democrat. And that's crazy because the coronavirus is neither Republican nor Democrat. I mean, the first states to be most severely affected were all Democrat states.
Yep.
Now there's Republican states that are affected. And there's also Democrat states like California, where it's ripping through for the second time. So, sadly, Chris, it seems as though every single debate in America at the moment has to be framed within the context of the upcoming election. It's pretty absurd. And quite frankly, it's disheartening for a lot of Americans.
I found it interesting to see Donald Trump finally wear a mask. I think he was... fancied himself in it. He said something along the lines of that he looked like the Lone Ranger or something. But here he is explaining why he, for the first time, wore that mask 2 days ago.
Well, I'll probably have a mask, if you must know. I mean, I'll probably have a mask. I think when you're in a hospital, especially in that particular setting where you're talking to a lot of soldiers and people that in some cases just got off the operating tables, I think it's a great thing to wear a mask. I've never been against masks, but I do believe they have a time and a place.